From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the hourly news blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting at a ceremony at the Massachusetts State House Thursday. Out Governor Maura Healey, a Democrat, signed a recently passed law aimed at bolstering protections for providers of gender-affirming and reproductive care, including abortion. As local station NBC 10 Boston notes, the measure passed last week when the Massachusetts House approved it by a 132 to 42 vote, with four state Democrats voting alongside Republicans in opposition. In the state Senate, only three Republicans voted against it. Massachusetts will always be a state where patients can access high-quality health care and providers are able to do their jobs without government interference, Healey said in a statement Thursday. From the moment Roe was overturned, we stepped up to pass strong protections for patients and providers, and with President Trump and his allies continuing their assaults on health care, we're taking those protections to the next level. No one is going to prevent the people of Massachusetts from getting the health care they need. The bill updates the Massachusetts 2022 SHIELD Act, which protects providers of reproductive and gender-affirming care from out-of-state investigations and prosecutions and other liability for providing or assisting patients in accessing such care, which is legal in the state. The law's passage came in response to the Supreme Court's 2022 decision in Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization, which overturned the constitutional right to abortion established in Roe v. Wade. As both NBC 10 and WWLP 22 News note, the updated law limits the release of personal data, allows prescription labels to include only the name of the prescribing practice and not the specific prescribing doctor, and codifies into law access to emergency medically necessary abortions. Last week, Massachusetts House Judiciary Committee Chair Michael Day, a Democrat, explained that it was urgently necessary to update the state SHIELD law because of the wild rhetoric around trans and reproductive health care from the current administration, Republican leaders in other states, and some lawmakers in Massachusetts. Sadly, that urgency is also present because some of the dangerous and frankly plainly ignorant rhetoric I've seen emanating from some individuals here in our own Commonwealth in the wake of our initial passage of this bill. Rhetoric saying things that legislators voting in favor of this legislation care only about killing babies and castrating children, Day said, according to NBC 10. I once again remind the more rabidly angry and cruel of our residents that we in the House work every day to protect your rights to voice your opinions, no matter what they may be, including that type of tripe. But we also work every day in these halls to ensure that all of our residents, even, and this might be part that sticks in people's craws, even our residents who might not look like you or talk like you or act like you or live their lives in a way that you don't like. Yep, even for those people, we in the House have the temerity to work to protect their rights to live peacefully with equal rights under the law here in Massachusetts, and we will always do so. In an interview with LGBTQ Nation in last October, ahead of the 2024 presidential election, Healey warned of the potential consequences for both LGBTQ plus and reproductive rights under a second Donald Trump administration. It's really, really scary. I mean, Trump probably led the most anti-LGBTQ administration in American history, and taking away freedoms and protections, banning transgender people from serving in the military, arguing in courts that businesses should be allowed to refuse to serve LGBTQ people, taking away medically necessary care for young people, and we know, based on Project 2025 and his own statements, it will be so much worse. They want to go after marriage equality. They want to implement a national abortion ban. They want to restrict contraception. In a Thursday statement responding to the Massachusetts bill, signing GLAAD law director of family advocacy, Polly Kreuzer, noted that Healey's administration faced political headwinds from the federal government and hostile states. Political threats or intimidation should never deny people the health care they need, and we will continue to work with government leaders and other partners to anticipate and protect Bay Staters, Kreuzer said. That's News Blast for this hour. If you are watching our news videos on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Tune in this Saturday and Sunday at noon for a full hour of jazz and funk from Herbie Hancock in the Smokers Lounge. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.